Let's talk about default media scaling, or set to frame size and scale to frame size. I'm Nick Sanders, and you are watching part 3 of 5 tutorials on scaling here at Video Deconstructed. Let's see if you've had this happen before. I select the first clip, use the shorthand Shift 5 to open the effects control panel, automate the scale, and play back to see if I like the speed. Now I select the clip and copy, then select the next 2 clips and paste attributes and make sure motion is checked in the window. Then I play back and see this. So the reason that happened was I had imported this lemonade photo with my default media scaling preference on set to frame size, and my lemonade photo is 4096 by 2304, whereas my pancake and chicken photos are both 1920 by 1080. So when I drag my lemonade photo into the timeline, I had to scale it down to 47% of its full size. And then when I pasted my scaling from the lemonade to the other 2 photos, they started out at the same size as the lemonade photo at 47%, and then I ended up with black all around those 2 photos. So to avoid this next time, I can switch my default media scaling to scale to frame size. Now I'll import 4 photos with very different sizes. Look here in the project window and you can see the different sizes. Now I drop them on the timeline, and notice when I click on the first photo and look at its scaling in the effects control panel, it says 100. Then I look at the second clip and the third and the fourth, they all say 100. So when you have scale to frame size as your default, all of your photos and video will scale up or down to your sequence frame size. And then in your scaling property, it will make that scaled size equal 100. This can be confusing, and I would generally avoid this preference setting. So if you want to keep your photos and video at the highest resolution, you will want your preference on either none or set to frame size. If you set the preference to none, then any imported video or photo when placed on the timeline will be at 100% scaling, and it will visually reflect that. So when I import the lemonade photo now, you can see we are zoomed way in because Premiere Pro did not set or scale the frame size. If you've imported clips or photos and your default media scaling was set to scale to frame size, you can right-click on any clip and switch it. So this clip, if you look up here, it says it's at 100%, but in fact, if I switch it over to set to frame size, you can see that technically this photo is scaled up to 156%. And then here, if you go up, it says scaled at 100%, but when you right click, you can switch it back to set to frame size. We're only at 46.9%. So the only reasons I can think of to use scale as opposed to set to frame size or none is either you don't care about the resolution, you just want to be able to copy and paste scaling attributes across multiple assets and have them react the same, like a series of photos scaling up the same amount and speed. Or you need better performance out of your computer system and you're hoping that this will lighten the load. If you know of any other reasons, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for making it to the end of part 3 of scaling here at Video Deconstructed. Next week is part 4, my nautical episode, where I'll talk about anchor points. I'm Nick Sanders. Please drop your anchor on the subscribe button.